every single person who is a life path 11 or birth number 11 is the ability to inspire. They are inspirational people. Like, that's what they've been placed on this earth to do. I'm going to actually go into the dynamics of that. First one, obviously, Kanye West. Everybody knows who Kanye West is. If you don't, check him out. But now his name is Ye. And he's a guy, as an 11, you can see that, he cannot be kind of controlled as well, which is also a 11 kind of trait. 11 trait is that because 11 see things on such a mental field, and they understand masculine and feminine at the same time, so they can see all dynamics of things. Trying to control that 11 is difficult. And Ye obviously has been a person who has been very creative, inspirational with his music and his creativity and his fashion, everything like that. And even sometimes when he talks, he's highly inspirational. So inspiration is the key. Obama, again, the first black president, this has inspired, a nation of people to actually achieve their goals and, become successful in their own field, just with the fact that he became a black president. Michael Jackson is probably one of the, if not the most inspiring person to ever live. One of them, anyway. One of them, for sure. One of them, definitely. And, Michael Jackson, nobody does what, no one can do what 11s can do. Like, everybody, 11s are basically here only for one reason, to do exactly what they need to do. They couldn't do anything else. They can't do anything else. That's why they are here. And Michael Jackson, completely inspirational. Don't know if you know who George Best is, but he was a famous footballer or soccer player for those who are American. And he was like the first soccer player to really have this kind of like status of like people want to know his life, people wanted to know, who he was with, what he did on the day, cameras following him, etc., etc. He was really the first football celebrity. He was the first one. He changed the whole game, and he was one of the best players ever. Changed the whole game in that. Michael Jordan. Everybody knows Michael Jordan. Changed the game. Basketball. Everybody loves basketball because of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's made basketball this. Basketball was already big, but he just took it to a different type of level. Inspirational completely. Kobe Bryant, similar to Michael Jordan, but I think people love Kobe Bryant not only for his talent, but also his mentality. His mentality is inspirational. His mind is everything about him, what he's about, is just different level. And he is as inspiring as Michael Jordan for different reasons, but definitely the same. Don't know if anybody knows who Samuel Leeds is, but he's basically a UK property developer mentor. And he brought the ability to actually make the average person get into property. He actually helped people who don't have a lot of net worth to actually come into the property market and actually make money with property too. So, that's why in the UK he's so popular, because he helps not only the higher echelons, but the people at the bottom as well. So, that's a very rare trait. And again, it's an 11. He couldn't do that. Kobe couldn't be Kobe Bryant without basketball. Jordan couldn't be Jordan without basketball. These people are meant to do this specific thing. 11s cannot do anything but the one thing that they're here to do. Leonardo DiCaprio, in my opinion, the best actor there is. And also, he's inspirational. I mean, a child actor, like, gone through the levels and still maintained kind of that status. Most child actors don't really maintain that level. But he started, and he's still growing, and he's still as big as he ever has been. The best. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah is the best, like, TV host, presenter, daytime talk show, whatever you want to call her, that's ever lived. Everybody wants to be on Oprah. Everybody who is, especially in like 90s and 2000s, when TV was like, there was no social media and TV was the thing. Oprah was the number one, the best. Grant Cardone, the guy who talks about 10x in your income, 10x in whatever it may be, 10x in your life, 10x in your work rate. Not only that, Grant Cardone really started talking about, you don't have to buy property to make money. You need to focus on having cash flow. And he brought like a new edge to the game when it comes to helping people make more money, basically. Candice Owens right now is like the number one in terms of like her her podcast and her how she talks about different things, and try to debate. You can't debate this woman. This woman will beat you hands down in a debate. She's like, many people have tried to destroy her, and she's just come based with her words. Yes, she has a little bit of a background in terms of being around certain people, but she's the best at what she does, and she's inspirational at what she does. Just like Grant Cardone, just like Oprah, just like Leonardo DiCaprio with his movies, inspiring people. This is what Life Path 11s and Birth Number 11s are here to do. They're here to inspire. They're here to make you want to do or be the best you. That's why 11s are here on this earth. Gary Oldman, maybe not a lot of people know Gary Oldman, but this is an interesting one because I've listened to a lot of actors speak about Gary Oldman, and he's basically an actor. I think he was in, well, I've seen him in like Leon and the Batman movies, Dark Knight Rising and The Dark Knight, and Air Force One and stuff like that. He's been in a lot of movies, but what people talk about him is actors say that he's the best actor. When you're in a field that people are in the same field as you and you are seen as the best, that's how you're different. Yes, Leonardo DiCaprio, he's blockbuster number one, but Gary Oldman is inspiration. He's inspiring the actors around him. He inspires other people to perform better because how he's performing. He's naturally inspirational, and that's what 11s are here, like I keep saying, to do. And if you're an 11 life path or birth number, believe me, there is something particular that you are here to do. There's something specific that you are here to achieve, and these three might interest you the most: King Charles, Prince William, and Harry. But I'm just going to talk about Marvin Hagler, who's probably the least known person on this list, probably, yeah. And Marvin Hagler is a boxer, there's many famous boxers, amazing boxers. But the difference between Marvin Hagler and the rest of the boxers, in my opinion, is every single one of his fights, like every single one, from his first fight to his last fight, the performance levels are, the fights, you're just like, wow, this guy is a beast. This guy looks like he's going to get knocked out, this, that, and the other. Just somehow his heart, his bravery, his work rate. And if you sometimes you listen to the guy speak as well, because I like to listen to people talk. I like to know people's mentality and their mindset. The guy's mind is amazing, and the way he boxed, like the spectacle, the show. They used to be calling Marvelous Marvin Hagler. It was a marvelous performance. When you're going to watch a Marvin Hagler fight, you are not going to be disappointed. Not only the fact that he's going to fight, but he's actually going to make sure it's entertaining for you. I felt like he would fight for the crowd more than so, even for him to win. Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins, everybody knows who he is. Amazing speaker, amazing entrepreneur, amazing just what he does. Everything he does, he's just the energy levels, just everything about him, top notch, top of the tree. And so many people have learned from him, and he's inspired like probably thousands, millions of people to speak and start businesses and doing things. His inspiration is doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. And when you think about these three are actually life path, King Charles, Prince William, and Harry, they're all actually life path 11s, interestingly enough. And you'll be like, well, how do they inspire? Or what's different about them? Or what do they do that, when you look at royalty, like King Charles, obviously he was married to Diana. Diana left him for somebody else. When has that ever happened? And he's had to go through the turmoil, like all 11s, all of these 11s, everybody has to go through turmoil. You don't just get given it to you. Even as royalty, even these royalties as 11s don't get it given to them like other royalty does, because that's the 11's path is also the struggle. You have to struggle first as 11. Even these guys, before he became king, he struggled in terms of the partner, in terms of not having the happiness that he wanted, maybe not being able to be king in the time he wanted. He had to be patient, had to wait. Prince William, mum died. Tragedy happened, like many things spoken about his mum and Charles and the Queen and so many other factors, a lot of things that he had to like overcome and override. And then now his wife has got cancer as well. This is 11 life path. It's a struggle. All of these have struggled. Everybody has struggled. And even royalty, you can see there's a struggle. Harry, not part of the family, married somebody who's nobody wants to know, everybody dislikes, wants to go his own path, go his own route as an 11, because as an 11, you feel like you have to be doing what you need to do. You can't be doing what someone forces you, or what's not your purpose, or what's not your angle. So you can even see. So if you're ever an 11, I'm an 11 too. I'm an 11 life path too. If you if you ever, I'm going to talk about 22s and 33s as well in the next videos. But as an 11, if you're ever struggling, know that it's supposed to be like that. Because if it happens to royalties who are 11, it's supposed to happen to you. It's happened to all of these. I could tell you all their stories. I've read all about them. Come from a poor background. Mum and dad broke up when he was 2. Drugs, abuse. I don't know about this guy, but violence and Tony Robbins, just, stepdad, and, crazy stuff happened. Michael Jackson, beaten up at 4 or 5 years old. Kanye, problems with mom and dad, alcoholism. You know what I mean? It's just, Samuel Leeds, broken home. It's just suffering, constant suffering as an 11. But that's what we need, that suffering to inspire. And if you need to know your birth chart and how you can inspire, please contact me. Go onto my TikTok page and click the link to my website. I can do a reading where I can specify exactly where your high-level skill set is and where it should be and what you should do. We are all here to reach the levels that these people reach. Believe me. Let me know your thoughts. Leave any comments or messages in the video. Have a great day.